Hello and welcome back in the online lecture series of Workshop Technology of BTech second semester common to all branches. We are now studying the fourth unit, that is welding. So in welding, so far we have studied different types of weldings and what is the welding and different types of welding. So today we will be discussing another type of welding is known as gas welding. As we know, the heat of coal cells or the coal cells is produced by different modules. We have earlier discussed what are the different, what is the coal cells and how it is produced. So, what are the different modules? So, heat of coal cells, as we have talked earlier, is the heat that is used for fusing the metal for welding. So, in this case, the coal cells or heat of fusion is coming from the by burning the gas. So this is the oxyacetylene gas welding. As we know, oxygen is important for all type of burning. So all these burning gases are combined with oxygen and air. Because oxygen, in the presence of oxygen only we can burn any fuel. So oxygen is quite necessity, and another necessity is air. So in the air, oxygen also present in high quantity, 13% or 14%. So this way we'll be burning the fuel in presence of oxygen. So oxygen is quite necessity. So this you can see, acetylene is combined or acetylene is burned in the presence of oxygen. So this way we are getting heat of pulses. You can see this is the weld nozzle. In fact, this is the ejection chamber where we mix oxygen and acetylene, and then when it's coming out at high pressure we are burning it. So this is the oxyacetylene welding. Then we use a filler metal and additional metal because we don't apply pressure in this welding, so another filler metal is required. In this case we don't have electrodes, so self consuming electrodes are not possibility. So in this case another additional material called filler metal or filler material is required. So oxyacetylene welding is a combination of oxygen and acetylene, and we have a weld nozzle, ejector nozzle, where the oxygen and acetylene at high pressure is coming out, and this is burned in presence of oxygen, in presence of air. So this is the oxyacetylene welding plant. This is the weld torch. Weld torch is the requirement, and weld torch is basically the chamber where the mixture of oxygen and acetylene is coming out. This is the filler metal. Then we can see this is the base metal. This is the flame. This is the hole. This is weld pool. You can see, and this is the basic explanation of oxyacetylene welding. So this is the equipment. So in case if we are asked how to write, how to explain oxyacetylene welding, what we are needed, we need to draw a diagram of equipments and procedure. So first of all, we have to explain the oxyacetylene welding setup. So what this setup means? This setup means the equipments that are used. So there we have two types of cylinders. One is filled with oxygen, another is filled with acetylene, and we have a control knob. We have the control knob over this, that basically regulator that regulates how much oxygen and how much acetylene is being sent to the chamber. Then we have hoses. Hose pipes are the pressure pipes that basically carry oxygen and acetylene into the mixing chamber. Then we have pressure gauges mounted above the nozzle. So these pressure gauges are telling how much pressure of the gas is inside the cylinder and how much pressure is taking out, and how much pressure with which the gas is being sent to the mixing chamber. So these pressure regulators or pressure gauges are important to know how much pressure gas has. So this is the pressure gauges, and then we have a uh, mixing hose or mixing nozzle, in which we basically mix the gases. And these two we have valves, and these valves basically control the oxygen and acetylene that is coming from the cylinder. So here we also control the supply of the oxygen and acetylene, and we have oxygen hose blue, black, and acetylene hose red. So this red pipe or red hose is carrying acetylene at high pressure, whereas black or blue cylinder or hose is carrying oxygen at high pressure. And this is the welding torch. So this at this place the flame is formed, and at this place the oxygen is burned. So we have this arrangement, and you can see cylinder content capacity. This is telling how much capacity is required. Cylinder has 14 kg, 20 kg, 22 kg. So this will be basically telling the cylinder capacity, and this is the pressure, current pressure, how much pressure. Initially the pressure is very high, and when the acetylene or oxygen is consumed, it decreases slowly and comes to zero or atmospheric. At that time there is no uh, pressure in the oxygen or acetylene. That means it is empty, and again we have to refill or replace this oxygen acetylene cylinders. So advantages: gas welding is a fusion welding type. Acetylene burned in oxygen is used to a source of heat. This heat is to use to fuse the joint metal joints. Advantage: simple, portable, easy maintenance. We can see this is applied most of the places, and this is most common welding that is in our surroundings. Simple, portable, easy maintenance. Disadvantage: very low welding speed. Large amount of heat is required. Some heat is wasted also, and large heat affected zones should not be used with reactive metals like titanium and zirconium. So this can react with acetylene and form another complex metal, and this way the chances are that this could be uh, defect. This could be causing a defect. So not used for titanium, zirconium, and normal metals are used for this. One, this was the advantages and disadvantages. One important aspect of this oxyacetylene building is the type of flames. So when we are mixing 1:1, that means when we have one portion of oxygen is being mixed, one portion of the acetylene. So the 1:1 portion is mixed, and the flame thus formed. We are burning, and this flame is called neutral flame. So neutral flame is there. So we can see this is the neutral flame, color flame, blue color, very beautiful color, and we have a red color inside this. So this is called inner cone, and this is called outer envelope or external cone, outer cone. So inner cone has a temperature of 3300 degrees centigrade, 3300 degrees centigrade, and outer cone has a less uh, half of most half of the less than half of the inner cone. This is around 260 degree Celsius or degree centigrade. So this is the outer envelope, and this is the inner envelope. In case of neutral flame, when 1:1, oxygen and acetylene are mixed. Then another we have high ratio of oxygen, more than one is oxygen, and less than the acetylene is slow and low. So it could be 1.5 is to 1, 1.5 oxygen, 2.2 oxygen, 3 oxygen. So that means we have to take more oxygen. So if the more oxygen is taken, so that provides complete burning of the acetylene gases, because we know acetylene cannot be burned without oxygen. So the complete oxygen, the complete or the high oxygen produces high oxygen gives full opportunity to burn all the acetylene. So this way the temperature is high, and this temperature 3300 degrees centigrade is higher in case of oxidizing flame, where the mixture of oxygen and acetylene has high content of oxygen rather than as compared to acetylene. So this is called oxidizing flame, and this is high temperature zone. This is temperature more than this 3300 degrees centigrade. So this could be inner point, inner cone is pointed and it is not spread as in the previous one. In the previous one, in the normal neutral flame, it is more spread and it's looking like a bud. But in case this is the knife edge, this is looking like a edge knife, and this is more pointed and this is more temperature. Oxidizing flame has more temperature as compared to normal neutral flame. And we have outer envelope small and narrow, and this is outer envelope. This is more spread, this has more curve, and this has less curve. So the uh, so the phenomena is quite clear. More oxygen means more burning, and so less spreading, everything pointed, and this way we are having high temperature in this oxyacetylene oxidizing flame. Now next is carburizing or reducing flame, where we have less proportion of oxygen and we have high proportion of acetylene. So this way we have called this way it's called this is called carburizing or reducing flame. We have high carbon content or we have high proportion of acetylene. So that means lesser burning of acetylene. So lesser burning of acetylene means that we have to reduce the proportion of oxygen. So this could be 1. If the proposition of oxygen is 1, the acetylene could be 1.5, 2, or 3. So in this way, lesser opportunity for acetylene to burn, and this way it has lesser temperature as compared to either oxidized neutral flame. So we can see the spread of the flame, and this way we have acetylene feather. This is additional acetylene feather the because the acetylene is not completely burning. So another we have bright luminous inner core, bright luminous inner core. This is also because the acetylene is not completely burned. So this is acetylene feather, and this is blue envelope. This envelope has high curve and it is more broad as compared to oxidizing flame, and the reason is we have more acetylene and less oxygen, so not complete burning. This also produces less temperature, and the inner core has lesser temperature, around 3000 degrees centigrade, and outer is also lesser than 1260 degree Celsius. So this was the proportion of flames: 1 is to 1, 1 is to 2, and 2 is to 1. So these are giving types of flames, and these are important aspect because we are different types of metals we are using the oxyacetylene welding, and then we have different types of flames. So when we need high temperature, we use oxyacetylene welding. So for the metals that have high temperature, melting temperature or fusion temperature, then we'll be using oxidizing flame. And we have normal temperatures or normal temperatures metal melting point, melting temperature, we use neutral flame, and for lesser melting point metals, so for the softer metals or for the less thickness of the metals, we use carburizing flame. So this was the types of flames. Now this is the reaction that is very important that we have to understand. For oxyacetylene welding, calcium carbide plus water, two molecules of water will produce calcium hydroxide plus a C2H2, and this C2H2 is acetylene. This acetylene is combined with oxygen, 2.5 of oxygen, and then it produces carbon dioxide plus water plus 306.8 kilocalorie per mole, calories per mole. So this is the heat that is basically utilized for welding, and this is the reaction. Calcium carbide combines with water, two molecules of water, calcium hydroxide, then acetylene. This acetylene again burns in the presence of oxygen and then forms carbon dioxide and water vapors, and 306.8 degree, 306.8 calories per mole. So this is the heat that is basically utilized for welding. So this way we have to understand that this is important aspect of gas welding. So gas welding is also equation is also important. So now this is the chemical reactions and temperature distribution in a neutral oxyacetylene weld. flame. So we can see this is the temperature distribution. 3500, 3300 or around 3500 degrees centigrade for inner cone. For flame 2500 or less, and then outer envelope, and at the top it has 1000 or something like that. So this is the chemical reactions and temperature distribution. So this is oxidizing, carburizing, neutral, neutral flame, oxidizing. Types of techniques used in gas welding, leftward and rightward. For leftward welding, we are basically moving the torch in left direction, whereas for rightward welding, we are using the torch in right direction. Then gas welding equipments, these are the gas welding equipments. You can see cylinders, regulators, high pressure gauges, hoses, welding torch, check valve, molten valve. These are the apparatus, gas welding apparatus. So these are the goggles are also required because these produce very high radiation. Lighter for burning the gas. Then we have gas welding torch. Advantages we have already discussed. Simple, portable, inexpensive. Disadvantages, defects, welding defects, weld spatter, porosity, pore fusion, shallow penetration, and cracking. These are the welding defects. Spatter means the small droplets that basically spill all over or called spatter caused by a long length arc, a high current, or a phenomenon called arc glow will be this arc glow. So damages appearance of the weld and increase cleaning costs. Porosity, so porosity, which means small holes are generated on the surface of the weld surface or joint. This is called porosity. Then pore fusion, that means pore fusion is important. Pore fusion is important. That means though two molten metals, two fused metals are not completely combining together, so there is a not an homogeneous joint. So this way we'll be having pore fusion. Then shallow penetration, that means it's not going to hit inside deep inside the metal. Then cracking is also welding defect. This may lose the joint. Types of weld joints, we have already studied types of joints. These are the same. Butt face to face joint is called butt joint, corner joint, lap joint, T joint, H joint. So these are the flame joints and surface joints. Groove welds, consumable type electrode welding, non-consumable type of electrode welding. So this way tungsten inert gas welding setup. We are discussing earlier we discussed metal inert gas welding. This time we'll be discussing tungsten inert gas welding or TIG welding. This is quite similar to MIG welding or GMAW. This is called GTAW, gas tungsten arc welding, and also called TIG welding. So we don't have to be confused with TIG and GTAW. They are same. Similarly, GMAW and MIG welding is same. So the only difference between tungsten inert gas and MIG welding is that in MIG welding case, the electrode is consumed itself, while in case TIG welding, the electrode does not consume itself. Another filler metal or filler rod is applied for filling the metal. This is called TIG welding. This is quite similar to MIG welding. So we can see we have a gas passage, and this is the tungsten electrode holder, insulating sheath. This is shielding gas. This is work power, welding power source. We have inert gas supply coming from here. This comes out from here, and this way it is covering the whole area, and this is called TIG welding. So this is a comparison between gas welding and arc welding. Quick review: gas, heat produced by gas, heat produced by arc, then temperature 3200 and 3200, and obviously arc welding has a benefit of creating high temperature. That's why arc welding is applied. for almost all the metals because the temperature, melting temperature or fusing temperature is below 4000 temperature even for steels. So in any case, we'll be taking 4000 temperature. Arc welding can be done on all the metals, whereas gas welding has limited 3200 degree centigrade. So for alloy steels and high speed steels and high carbon steels are not suitable gas welding, and also cast iron is also not and or other ferrous alloys are also not fit for gas welding. So in material section, filler rod introduced. Gas welding parts do not have much strength. Filler metal may not be the same of parent metal. Brazing and soldering are done using gas. So arc welding is another high producing strength and high temperature is called arc welding. So MIG welding is here. Advantages and disadvantage. Then we have flux core arc welding, similar to TIG welding, quite similar to TIG welding. Then advantages and disadvantages are here. Then submerged arc welding, advantages and disadvantages we have already discussed. Then TIG welding we have discussed. Then electroslag welding schematic we'll be discussing in our next lecture. So for the time being, I am signing off. Is any problem, any subject clarity on any topic, you may get in touch with me at my phone number 9069360400.